is Lord Thaddeus Cray. This one is not a cryptid experience, but it is an experience that I had. I thought about doing it in story format, but I figured it would be simpler and probably more impacting if I did it like I do my normal videos, which aren't stories. What's this one about? Well, it's about an event that kind of opened my eyes and was possibly one of the first things that set me on the path that I'm on now. I'm just going to leave it at that. It was back when I was living with Gwen and Stacy. And it involved me as another person. And what I mean by that is, you guys already know, when I left that situation, I left a lot of my old ways behind. Now, I'm going to go ahead and tell you the event which happened, which put me on the path to deciding it was time for me to get the hell out of there. I've kind of alluded to other things before, of what happened. I might have mentioned this before. I think I did, actually. But I'm going to go ahead and really get into it. Kind of clarify what had happened and exactly what went down. So, strap in for a minute here. It happened about 3 years ago. Give or take. Yeah, about 3 years. Maybe a little longer than that, actually. Long before I was doing what I do now. Long before the calling had come upon me. The ladies in the group home that I was staying with, well, what they were doing was they had business. And they figured, you know what? They wanted me just to kind of relax and chill around the house and keep an eye on the place. To me, it was perfect. Because the fact is, I could actually relax and not have to feel like I was under someone's thumb all the time, if you get my drift. However, back then, I also had another habit. And I'm not just talking about this, because I didn't really do this back then too much. I mean, I'd done it off and on for about 20 years-ish, but this was one of those periods where I kind of slacked off on the smoking quite a bit. Okay, now that you understand that, the bad habit I had, not just lying at the time, but was drinking. That's right, I liked to drink. I still do sometimes. A little bit too much. Then, of course, you have that addictive mentality. That's how it goes. So I'm going to get to the point. Some friends of theirs, or family actually, I think it was the wife of one of their sons, had come in and stolen something. Some alcohol that I had not touched. Now, don't get me wrong, Crown Royal is good stuff, but I'm a lot of things. How can I say this? I'm a reformed former liar. I still can manipulate sometimes. And I definitely am kind of off in the head at times as well. But I've never truly been a thief. That's not my nature. So, when Gwen and Stacy come back, I'm being accused of something that I hadn't done. I said, look, I did not take this. Needless to say, I was infuriated. And the fact is, finally, she just kept harping and harping on it. Hell, they even, it pretty much led to where I actually lost the key to my own home. At least, let's leave it at this. Gwen herself said, man, you steal from me, you don't deserve a key. And I basically decided right then. I started planning. If I saw an opportunity to get the hell out, I would. And I would not look back. Because I did a lot of horrible things. Awful things, and I admit that. But that was not one of them. So, suffice to say, it was during an argument about that damn stolen bottle of Crown Royal, I finally just got fed up. I was like, look, you want me to pay for the damn bottle? I'll go ahead and do so. I'm getting tired of talking about this. She's like, oh, you are guilty then, because you're offering to pay for it. And I was thinking to myself, no, you stupid woman. You stupid fool. No. I'm just tired of hearing you talk about it. However, you have to see through her eyes at that moment in time. Very much. I can't really blame her for seeing things that way, now that I have hindsight. But that's not what this is about. There was something very interesting and paranormal that happened during that argument. It was an odd, I think it's called an ottoman, where where you sit in a chair and you rest your legs on it. That ottoman was pushed by an invisible force. I would say good, at least 2 or 3 foot across the living room. And I took that as a warning. I don't know really who was behind it. Part of me thinks it was possibly my mom trying to, say, Wes, pay attention, start planning. But all I know is that spooked the hell out of me. Gwen didn't even seem to notice, but I did. And suffice to say, that was when I started planning. And that was just one of the pivotal events that really had me saying, you know what, it's time for me to start planning to get the hell out of there. And the thing is, like I said before, it wasn't a matter of planning. It was just a matter of God putting things ahead, one step in front of the other, at the right time, and I paid attention, and I took advantage of those situations. There wasn't really much planning, to be honest with you, and I mean that. Of course, they'd probably say otherwise, but in the end, I know what's true and what the truth is. Now, I don't hold grudges against nobody, but I do know one thing. Whatever that apparition was, I've never really thanked anything. But part of me thinks that was the hand of God. And if so, whatever it is, I appreciate it, because it helped wake my eyes up in more ways than one. I just figured it was something kind of interesting to put out there. And just something random that I was like, you know what? I want to put this out there. I know I've told this story before, but I figured focus on this. Just kind of figure out what you guys think. Like I said, things happen for a very many amounts of reasons, and this one was definitely positive. So, either way, you guys know what I do. I'm the producer for the shows for the DW family. Dogman Cams, Chasing the Truth, and the Vault of Nightmares. My email is westvic@dogmancams.com. If you've had any type of encounter with the cryptid, supernatural, or heck, just what I just told you, something being moved, but not by a human hand, hell, talk to me. I'll be glad to make sure that you're put in contact with the right person. You guys be blessed and you be safe.